Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back. I miss you guys so much. I've been on an adventure. Today feels so good. Yeah. The energies, it's funny because the energies are good, but it's different. There's a consistency. I feel like this 9 of cups feeling that I'm personally feeling, I feel like I've earned it. And I've earned it not to experience it in a fleeting moment. I've earned it to experience it on a consistent basis. And this is the first time in my life where I have genuinely, consistently felt the 9 of Cups energy. I feel like I can truly speak on it from a different perspective, not from the outside trying to get in, but from the inside. And yes, things aren't perfect. And yes, there's still low vibrational energies, but the consistency, it's the consistency for me of where our energy vibration as a collective has finally been able to reach and stay. And of course, it's not a surprise that Cancer season would help us to achieve that, right? So just know all of your hard work is for a reason. If you're not feeling the 9 of Cups yet, just know you going through the karma, you going through the darkness, you going through the thick of it, there's light on the other side. And you choosing not to go around all this shit is why you earn this 9 of Cups energy. What you're going through leads you to it. But you can't have this blissful energy if you're avoiding all of the darkness that takes away from your 9 of Cups, which this collective that I support hasn't done. We've gone through it for how long now? So it's a very amazing time. Okay. There's a lot happening. Many of you guys are energetically exhausted and are being pulled through the spectrum of emotions. And some of you, this spectrum is reflecting in this end of an era and the beginning of a new one. So you're mourning the end of an era while simultaneously in the same present moment celebrating the beginning of a new one. So this is emotionally very expansive. There's nowhere to go. It's almost like this. It's hard to explain. It's like, think of dilating and you're at 10 centimeters. Okay. Some of you obviously are pregnant or whatever, but the dilation, it can't dilate any further. So emotionally you are being stretched to your capacities. And people have this weird preconceived notion that Cancer season and emotions have anything to do with sadness. And it's just a testament to how limited their emotional spectrum is. Okay. There are all kinds of emotions. If you look at emotions like data, okay, how much there's no emotions wouldn't be considered data if all it read to you was sadness and pain. There's excitement, there's happiness, there's joy, there's pain, there's anger, there's yearning, there's desperation, there's inspiration, there's all these things. So Cancer season is going to trigger all these emotions just so that you can see how whole you are and how much substance you have to you, how much depth there is to your water. Some of you guys don't understand you have the ocean inside you. You understand? That's that, i.e., an entire universe inside you. And the collective I read for was like a submarine and just descended into the depths of their water, i.e., the knowing of themselves. Which is why this 9 of Cups energy, this happiness doesn't have anything to do with anybody else. Meaning, yes, people can be happy for you, but they can't feel this 9 of Cups energy, and this 9 of Cups energy isn't attributed to anybody else. This is yours and yours alone, which is why it would make sense you would have to achieve the 9 in order to get the 10. Right? So anyways, fantastic. Congratulations to us. We're mourning the end of an era, but we are celebrating the beginning of a new. And for many of you, this era is actually, the way I channeled it at one point was the end of famine. So when I was in Jamaica, I was talking to my uncle, the Rasta. If you guys want to check out my journey, in Jamaica, I posted some of it on Instagram, Miss Sweetie or Queen Cup. But anyways, I was explaining, because I was telling him I haven't been to Jamaica in 7 years. There were so many things that I hadn't done in 7 years. And the Rasta, my uncle, goes to me, says, it's the 7 years of famine. And I'm like, 7 years of famine? He's like, yes. And the 7 years of famine are followed by 7 years of abundance. And then I started really channeling and downloading that and really like thinking about it. And I was like, okay, this 7 years of famine, what if we looked at it like a sacrifice, like we agreed to go through that famine? And then it wasn't this famine, because I know famine is usually associated with food, which is a collective message because we are going into a food crisis, and all these third world countries are now going to go to first world because they have the food source that our first world countries don't have, because we're so codependent on import and all this genetically produced, all this garbage shit. Right? So it's really going to be funny how the third world goes to the first world all because of food. So that's why I feel like the message came in as famine. But let's look at famine, i.e. drought, as anything. You guys went through famine energy. You were in a drought. You were yearning, hoping, and begging for some for some of you, it was love. You went through a 7-year famine where you didn't have any intimate love connections or relationships. Some of you were single. And guys, time is an illusion. So maybe it wasn't 7 years. Maybe it was 2. Maybe it was 10. Who cares? Right? The point is that it was a sacrifice. I felt like the divine was trying to tell the collective, look at the famine that you personally experienced as a sacrifice that you agreed to in your Akashic records before incarnating here. Why would you do that then? 7 years of famine, 7 years of abundance. That's why we would have agreed to it. In my mind, that's how I looked at it, because I know me. And if I had any conscious awareness of the greatness and everything that was going to come to me prior to reincarnating, I would do it. The problem is, if I was aware, I would also be aware of everything I would have had to go through, and then maybe I wouldn't have. Which is why we don't remember our Akashic records, right? Because if we saw all the darkness, even if we knew all the light and the greatness, we still might not go after it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I feel like, collective, try to empower yourself to see that your period of famine, whatever drought that you experienced, was a sacrifice that you made for the greater good of you. Because in this famine period, what did many of you do? You went within, you learned, you think of it like the famine period, working your way as a seed up through the darkness and through the dirt. And then the abundance period is when you break out of the ground. It's over now. Absolutely. The plant never goes back into the ground again, right? It just goes through the rooting process. And then once it sprouts, it's out. It's just out now. It never goes back in. It's like us as humans, we never go back into the birth canal. Once we pop out, it's done, and we're in a new realm, and off we go, right? So I just felt like really excited to channel the message to you that this period of famine, collective, is over, and that there's a lot of abundance that's meant to be had. And I hope you're not wallowing in self-pity about your abundance and really about your famine period, and really empowering yourself and looking at it as a sacrifice that you made so that you can have the abundance that you have now, or that you're finna bring into you. So when people go, well, why do you have that and I don't? You can tell them, I sacrificed a lot, right? Cayenne Cash. I sacrificed a lot to get this, to be here, to have this, to be at this energy vibration. So that people then understand that they have to go through an initiation process to receive this. Because people aren't going through the initiation process and they're losing faith in the creator. Like as if the creator is didn't give us free will and capabilities to do anything on this earthly plane. You know what I mean? So I don't know about everybody else, but I know this collective. So now we're going to touch on the Judas energy. Then we're going to pray and we'll pull cards and see what else we get. There's so much to talk about. I had to start somewhere with you guys, right? Anyways, the Judas. So last reading, when I was in Jamaica and it was really like choppy or whatever, I was trying to communicate to you guys the 12 disciples, and I was channeling about the 12 disciples. Okay. And today, or at least the past, so I'll be honest, for me personally, the divine and my ancestors have been trying to tell me there's a Judas in my energy. And That's not good for somebody like me, because then I get really paranoid and everybody can get it and everybody can get cut off, and I'll go right back into hermit mode because I like hermit mode and I'm comfortable there because I did my years of sacrifice, right? So then I went to Jamaica and I had certain things revealed to me. And I realized that this Judas energy isn't one person, even though a lot of this can kind of funnel into one person, but this Judas energy has gone through several people in your life. This is one entity. So if we have 12 disciples and their energies spread through all the people that we work through, because each disciple teaches us very valuable lessons, which is why we were contractually agreed to them, then this focus today is on Judas. And somebody, thank you, Angel Gang Gang, sent me something, some kind of quote. It's on the other phone. I'm going to read it. So I don't know much about what it says in the Bible. Like I said, hold on. There it is. And I think it even has, so on Instagram, she's SDP the Kid. Okay. Shout out to Angel Gang. So she posted this on her Instagram, be kind to Judas. God is testing you. Because I did this, I posted a reading about this on Patreon. So she, I guess, just posted something on her Instagram. And then what she posted was like a quote. And it says, demon possessed. 10, John 13, 24, 27. Simon Peter got this follower to look his way. He wanted him to ask Jesus which one he was speaking of. While close beside Jesus, he asked, Lord, who is it? Jesus answered, it is the one I give this piece of bread to after I put it in the dish. Then he put the bread in the dish and gave it to Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon. After Judas had eaten the piece of bread, Satan went into him. Jesus said to Judas, whatever you are doing, do it in a hurry. Yo, big bro was a G. Just remember that. Jesus is not your father. Jesus is your brother. The Bible thumpers can come at me all they want. I don't even give a fuck. I came back. I went to Machete and I came back. I went to Jamaica and I came back with my machete. The reason why I brought this out in this reading is because, I'm just going to say it really quickly. This was gifted to me in Jamaica the day I left, the day before my birthday. And this, I said I wanted a machete, my own machete from Jamaica that I was going to carry back. Usually they're a lot bigger. And I was gifted this by a friend of mine. And she gave it to me and she said, this machete is 34 years old, which is exactly how old I turned the next day. And it's the original one. It doesn't have a plastic handle. It has a wood one. This is like an artifact. This is like a fucking artifact. And I just thought as my sword of truth, because water does this. I remember we talked about descending in the pits of us. Some of us were initiated by water, and so was I. And I went into the pits of my ocean, and this is what I found. And this is how the universe mirrored that to me in the 3D by this being gifted to me by a friend that I consider an earth angel. You get me? So anyways, I just wanted to share that. My machete, my baby, my little sword of truth. And I'm also going in my new timeline as the Page of Swords, which is the little dagger, right? It's just so symbolic. But anyways, going back to Judas, because Judas can get it. Because you have your sword of truth now, right? Right. So Judas can get it. But don't worry, collective. You have to understand. The way I channeled it is that God made you love all your 12 disciples. Knowing that if you knew Judas was going to betray you like that, you would have never loved that disciple. So God is teaching us to love even Judas. Because if you think about it, you love this person. This is, guys, when I'm talking about a Judas, even this Judas energy has played out through a lot of, thank you, Divine Love 333 for the donations. This Judas energy is played out through many people, but there is a main character that in your lifetime, you will identify as the overarching person that you experience this energy to a severe degree with, even if you experienced other Judases. You love this person, right? You love this person, and then they fuck you over and you find out they Judas you and they betray you. But love is everlasting. So it's like God's initiation into showing us that even our enemies, we are to love. It's like God tricked us into loving even our enemies, making one of our own disciples, Judas. This is somebody who's close to you. This is somebody you would have never thought. Okay? This is somebody you trusted so much and they robbed you. You would have never thought they would steal from you, but you find out they do. Okay, you would have swore this person was the most honest person in your life, but they lied to you. Guys, the reason why this Judas energy is coming in is because if you make this about Judas, you're fucked up. You have to understand. And another thing too, is that as you see here, after Judas had eaten the piece of bread, i.e., God knew Judas fucked him over and he still broke him off. I told you guys. What did I tell you guys a year and a half ago? What happens when somebody fucks you over and you're generous to them and you give them something and they take it? I told you that happens to them. Satan comes for them because of the laws and how things work when it comes to collecting. We talked about this. Jesus taught us this shit. If you really decipher and you don't read that book like a fucking sheep, and you really are spiritual and know how to decipher it. I did not even think of the Bible until I was 31 years old. I had to reach a certain spiritual level because God knew that if I give this Bible to this girl before, she's going to read it as is and be led astray like the rest of the people who read it as is and ate it the way the colonialism fed it to you. But if you really take it in, so this is why I also feel like you don't need to do anything. God's not telling you to change how you are. God is saying, stay the way you are. You're generous, you're kind, you're honest, you're loving. This is who you are. You understand? Even to Judas. And you are like that to Judas because you know that he's going to get handled. It's not your responsibility. This demon that convinced Judas to fucking snake Jesus didn't give a fuck about Jesus. This demon knew Jesus was protected. This demon knew that Jesus was on a different path. This demon wanted Judas. And now this demon got him. After Judas had eaten the piece of bread, Satan went into him. Jesus said to Judas, whatever you are going to do, do it in a hurry. Because Judas doesn't have time no more. Time's up for Judas. Do you get it? Judas was not snaking on behalf of the no demon. Yeah, geez, I'm late. Judas is a person close to you that betrays you, right? He set in motion God's play. He was a poet. Yes, yes. But okay, even what you're saying, because I feel like God's dream is trying to like defend Judas. I feel like that's the point too. That's why God makes us love our Judases. And then love is you can't destroy that energy vibration if you wanted to. It teaches us very valuable lessons about being unconditional lovers and staying true to who you are as a lover, regardless of who you come into contact with or who does what to you. This is about maintaining the integrity of your light and being a true light worker, a true warrior of light. How are you a warrior of light if darkness can convince you to be a demon and to be low vibe and dark? Then your light warrior isn't as active, isn't as strong as you might claim or post, which is what I even had to learn, which is why I own my demon, which is why nobody can tell me about the demon inside me. Because if you really listen to this here, Judas, the demon inside Judas, got him to snake Jesus, but it was a whole different demon that came into his ass after he did. Remember, I told you, your inner demons, you need to exercise them all, but you can't exercise your shadow. Trust me, I tried. You can ask around. I tried. Okay? So yeah. Holy 20 minutes in, those are the downloads. All right? I wish a Judas world. I feel like I'm missing something. I've been thinking of changing my number to cut contact understanding the Judas didn't have a choice. Judas didn't have a choice. I'm not saying Judas did. Actually, I'm sorry. I feel like Judas did have a choice. But to Judas and the energy that Judas was in, Judas did not. So the karmic lesson for Judas is to realize Judas did have a choice and did have free will, and there were other options. There was another way. Judas also teaches you very valuable lessons about your own shadow and your own darkness. How do you think Jesus was able to identify Judas and darkness without it being handed to him on a platter? It was through discernment. It was through his own journey, personal journey through darkness. But did Judas get a second chance? I would like to think so. I don't know anybody who hasn't. I'm the Judas. Judas, okay, the role held by God's hand, y'all have been played. Okay, God's dream, what are you trying to say? Because you're clearly like, let's all stop, because God's dream needs something right now. And I want to know if God's dream has the capacity to actually hand it. So let's all give God's dream the attention. Okay, God's dream, if I need the true story, we're all going to come. You don't even have to create a channel and build it and do all the work. I did it for you. Here we're going to give you all the tension to ride for Judas and explain to us what we don't know. I can feel your heart thumping out of your chest. Where are you? Come on. Type faster. You know what? I'm going to carry on and you can come back with the story. And like I said, you don't even have to create the fucking the platform. No one could betray the Son of God. LOL. That was the false conception. Give us more. You're just shooting shit out, friend. This is what I'm saying. So someone had to play the role. Okay, give us more. You're not explaining anything. And I'm trying to explain something, fam. So if you want to break something down, go do the work to build a platform to do that. Or do it here and do it right. She still shoots. Set up the play in motion. Nobody knows what you're talking about, girlfriend. Anyways, let me move on. God's dream. The ceiling isn't in it, sis. Please enlighten us because you're wasting time otherwise. Yeah, enlighten us, share. That's what the community does here. We share. But if you're just going to like I'm trying to speak on a perspective. If you don't resonate with it, then talk about what your perspective is or fuck off. The story had to be played out. I can't. It's all right. Time for the prayer. Yeah. Time for the prayer, Valentina. Creator God, Prime Source, Ancestors, Guardian Angels, thank you for rising me up out of my bed this morning, and thank you for connecting me with the collective every day. Right now, please allow me to communicate clearly with the collective all the messages that are in our greatest good, surrounding our material abundance, sustenance, the relationships closest to us, our personal ascension and development, and any other messages that you deem worthy at this time. Thank you, Creator God, Prime Source, Ancestors, Guardian Angels, for everything you do for me and the collective on a regular. All the healing energy, the support, the love, the guidance, and the protection. We are nothing without it, and we are nothing without you. So glory be to the Most High, forever and ever. Amen. Yeah, here's the strange person. A bunch of people where they don't belong. Anyway, so collective, let's get back to maybe pray on the topic more. God's dream to see a different insight, love. I don't understand. Smudgy. Hey, Derica. Hey, Queen Dara. Listen, are you sure you are not a descendant of Judas? Careful. I could be. I'm not saying I'm not. Guys, I'm sharing information with you. Like what the fuck do you want? Okay? I'm just sharing my spiritual perspective. I am not here leading you people. I am not here saving you. I am not nothing. I am here energetically connecting with people who are a vibrational match to me and are open to my perspective. Okay? That's it. Do you get it? Who said something already? I'm grounding. I'm not anchoring in that shit. I don't care. Like, it's not. I feel you, Destiny. I'm gonna ascend to be like Jesus. Jesus just whispered to his friend, "Who I passed the bread to," and then just it was done. There was no back chat. There was no aggression. There was no triggering. There was just, you know. And I feel like, but it's true though. We are descendants. We have to be descendants of Judas. Why? There's 12 disciples. Their main core energies that teach us lessons. So within, so without. You understand? But I would still put some hot to Judas. I don't care. Jesus had to play out the story of God's divine. For his children. All right. Keep going, sister. Right. Facts. Yeah. Okay. We are all 12. Yes. Which is why you guys kept relating it to the 12 zodiac signs, which we are all of those too. Right. Mine of Judas trying to distract you. Sue May, don't play with me. You already see it. It's because we're pulling back our energy from Judas. So Judas is doing the most. But Judas needs to carefully doesn't choke on that fucking piece of bread. Okay. Shout out Judas. Archetypal energies, right. Archetypal, that's the word. Archetypal energies. Oneness. Beautiful. Okay, so the first two cards are speaking about, because obviously we came into this reading speaking about the beginning of an era and the end of another one. Sorry, the end of one era that you're mourning and the beginning of a new one that you're celebrating. This is speaking of the end of an era. We talked about mourning. Here's a coffin. So some of you guys could actually be mourning the death of somebody. Some of you guys, like me, I was mourning the death of somebody who had passed years ago that I hadn't processed, right? Some of you guys, this person has passed away recently. Regardless, there's a focus on mourning. For some of you, it's not an actual person. It's the actual era, meaning there are certain things in your life that are showing you can't revisit things again. They're done. They're away. And these are things that you really love that you might not have appreciated, or you're kind of looking on retrospect at the 9 of Cups energy because you didn't know how to be in the present. So you're kind of mourning the times, wishing that you could have them again, wishing that, you know, you didn't take them for granted or more in the present when they occurred. So this era, yes, you're happy that certain things are over, but you're also realizing, collective, you're sad about certain things being over. Your karmic cycle wasn't all dark and doom and gloom, but the whole thing is over. So all the positive things about your karmic cycle that you need to grow out of. Like, I went to Jamaica again, and Jamaica was like, dealt with me beautifully and took care of me like she always does. But she also let me know, you're not a little youth here anymore. When you came here in the past, regardless of your age, you were a child. You're coming here as a grown woman now. I had to mourn that. I had to mourn that I was never going to be in that family home, or at least not for many, many years again. So that experience that I had, that I was going back looking to have, it wasn't there anymore. I had to mourn that. That era's over. You understand? So it's that kind of energy. You know, yes, I know you're excited to wrap certain things up and not experience these things again, and come out of the famine and really experience the abundance. But what about your karmic cycle that wasn't famine? What about your karmic cycle that was abundance, but this abundance has run out? This abundance is only part of your karmic cycle. There's experiences you won't have again, places you won't go again, people you won't see again. It's really over. There's a mourning. Bittersweet, I saw. Yes, Empress Tarot, bittersweet. That's the perfect way. But Jack speaks of taking an action. The 4 of Cups. This is ignoring something. The 9 of Cups. You don't ignore wish fulfillment. What's this about? And the 3 of Cups. This is so emotional. Somebody's taking some kind of actions with a lot of emotions behind them. This is not thought. These are thoughts, but this is more, because obviously emotions are tethered to your thoughts. But What consciously is making somebody do something isn't their thoughts, because I don't think they're consciously aware. There's no swords. This is somebody aware of their emotions, how they feel. Somebody's feelings are prompting them to take an action. And it's the Queen of Cups. Towards emotional fulfillment, towards somebody's heart is being led somewhere that they can't understand in their mind. So this is somebody's heart is ahead of their head right now. So their head hasn't caught up to their heart. They don't know why, which I feel like somebody trying to figure out why was causing delays. They weren't taking action because they were waiting for their head to catch up to how they feel, or catch up to what their heart was trying to do, or where their heart was trying to go. Somebody surrendered that. They surrendered. They came to an awareness that their mind isn't going to understand this, that they surrendered to their heart. Cancer season got some of you, or a person in particular, to surrender to their heart's desires, even if their head couldn't understand it, which is very scary, right? But if you really think about it, collective, your heart never lied to you, ever. Ever. Your heart led you where you needed to go to learn things. If you start looking at your heart like your head, meaning a machine, a computer that holds data, you'll start letting your heart live a little bit more, because you'll realize when your heart seeks something, it's seeking data, information. Knowledge is power. Your heart makes you powerful, not just your mind. So don't be afraid to follow your heart, because your heart's going to lead you to power, knowledge, data, information that comes from experience, whether it's breaking hearts, getting your heart broken, falling in love, chasing love, running from it. It doesn't matter. You've learned so much. Many of us connected because of our heart. And through the years, our brains, through these readings and connecting, we've learned what our heart was doing many years ago, and learned to have no regrets, and to forgive ourselves, and to accept. So now you're in the present, and your heart's going, I want to take action. Your heart is going to fire. Your water energy is going to fire. Let's go. It's not going to air. It's not going to the earth. Water is attracted to fire at this time. Right now. This is passion. This is action. This is desire. Okay? So your heart, i.e. your water element, is bucking up with your fire element, your passion, your desire, your drive. So these actions are emotionally fueled. Do you understand? Even if it doesn't make sense to the individual who's taking the actions, there's a strength. Why? Because they are accepting the emotions instead of feeling insecure because you haven't accepted that your head doesn't understand. You have to understand you're built up of the 4 elements. Some of you are led by air, regardless of your zodiac sign. But what happens when you're in Cancer season and Cancer bucks up with fire and wants to lead your life? Your air energy is being bullied by your own water and fire elements within your soul. Do you understand? So this isn't about what you know. This is about how you feel and how much fire energy you have to pursue your feelings. Your heart's going to have its way, collective. Your emotions are going to trump. They're going to make you care. Cancer season is going to make everyone give a fuck. Cancer season is going to have everyone who ran from their emotions flapping in the water, fucking choking on water, getting it in their ear, all for them to realize that the water isn't even that deep. And now they're learning how to swim, and they're in the kiddie pool, and now Cancer season Cancer season has not been dominated by the water element in several years. Okay? In several years, it has been run by other elements, earth, air, fire. But this year, 2022, I don't know astrologically what's happening, Water is dominating Cancer season, and water is pairing with fire. I'm not an astrologer. Astrology can completely contradict what I'm saying. I'm telling you what I am empathically, and the high priestess in me is saying and feels. Okay? So collective, there's that. Let's see what else. Neptune is in retrograde and Moon is in Sag right now. Okay, Moon is in Sag. That's water. That's fire. Sag Moon, and it's been very fiery emotions. Yeah, but they're up. This is your water element going, I want to manifest something in this soul's third dimensional being, and is looking at the element of fire to do it. That's also the union of, okay, so here's another thing. So I was sitting and meditating. You know how I told you guys water and earth? I read this. Water and earth is feminine, and fire and air is masculine. First of all the elements, shout out to the Patreon gang, all the elements are both masculine and feminine. But I saw a very masculine side of water energy that I wasn't open to, believing that water energy was just feminine. You understand? And what I opened up to, what the Rasta told, what my uncle, that's Bug Eye. I keep saying Rasta because in Instagram, he's the one with the dreads. That's my uncle. Anyways, he was explaining to me that water was actually masculine. And he said it was because water fertilizes like semen. You understand? Semen fertilizes an egg being earth. Water fertilizes the earth to grow things. Semen fertilizes the egg, right? So I'm going to really try now with this new perspective to encompass the elements as having both, which really should be the testament to the union within the masculine, feminine energy and within myself. Right? In cardiology, it's a Queen of Diamonds year, which is a divine feminine, but yeah, no, as above, so below. Oh, I love that. All diff perspectives are truly beautiful. I know, right? It's like imagine perspectives were different colors on a painting. It'd be so boring if it was just one color. I mean, not necessarily. We know beautiful black and whites, right? From that dimension as an art form. But when there's color, you know, it just brings depth. Anyway, let's see what else. The Ring, the Ace of Wands, the new beginning. The new beginning. The King of Swords, and the Ten of Cups. The 9, mourning the end of one era and celebrating the beginning of another. The 10 of Cups. Remember, we said you have to get the 9 before you can get the 10. You had to understand what this energy, you had to achieve this energy vibration within yourself. Because our whole karmic cycle, we thought the 9 of Cups was going to come because somebody entered into our life. You learned that the 9 of Cups energy, this wish fulfillment, this happiness, this peace, this contentment was something you earn as an individual that then makes you an energetic vibrational match to other people that you can maintain this with. That won't take this away, destroy this. Thora, stop it and go and lay down. In your place. Go and lay down in your crate. In your crate. It's a Judas. See, Thor's warning Judas. It's too peaceful. I've never seen this kind of peace in my life. Congratulations for achieving the 9 of Cups. I said the same thing. I'm like, I've never had this many days consistently feeling this happy without the up, the down, the up, the down. But remember, we learned that you will have highs, lows, and then you start to even out. And this is the collective evening out. So what this makes you an energetic vibrational match to collective, oh God. Thora ain't having it today. Yeah, she's talking back. You see Thora today, right? Thor's getting spicy. Yes, Thor is getting spicy. Thor is very spicy. Habanero, Scotch bonnet, spicy. And then death, sudden ending. So we have the death and coffin. It's the end of a fucking era, never to be revisited again. You have to mourn this collective. Some things you're happy about being done forever. Other things you're going to have to mourn. Some of you guys didn't realize that because you were just running away from the shit in your karmic cycle you didn't want anything to do with and you wanted to ascend from. Not realizing there was a bunch of things in that karmic cycle that you really loved and care about that you would also have to say goodbye to when you said goodbye to this karmic cycle. So this is where the divine was trying to tell us 2 years ago that you leave your karmic cycle with love, unconditional love for it. It kind of makes sense now. And then Jill. The drought's over. For some of you, this drought, this famine had to do with connection. You felt so alone for so long. But it's the connection for me. That famine comes to a sudden end. In this deck, it's the skeeth, or however you say it. It speaks of sudden endings, and the coffin speaks of very slow endings. Took a long time to get there, and in a minute, it's done. Fast, slow. In between Jack and Jill, we have the skeeth. That loneliness, that famine comes to a sudden end with these connections. But it first came to an end when you connected to your true, authentic self. And when it comes to this authenticity and stuff, guys, some of you guys, whether it's Judas or whatever, you're dealing with very manipulative energies trying to play you out of your position. If somebody's mimicking you and copying you, because there's somebody around you who's mimicking you, they're copying you, they're taking your energy, they're taking your narrative, they're taking your authentic story, and they're trying to make it their own. Do not get into trying to prove that. Do you understand? This person is trying to convince people that they are the authentic version, that how they are being is authentic, and it's not. And then trying to say that you are being inauthentic. Or for some of you, you're watching this. Somebody's coming to you and you're like, you're not being authentic. It's like you can identify who is being authentic and who isn't. So somebody could be talking shit to you about somebody, and you're like, how are you going to talk shit about the same person that you talk to? Like you could be looking at this, or you could be you could be either of these people. Do not get played. Don't let the devil get you to play into proving who you are. So now you step out of your authenticity and you're like, I'm that version. I'm the real version. Just be you. Just be you. Because I feel like the devil's trying to play some of you out of your position with this whole copying, mimicking thing, where you become unauthentic because you're trying to do you better than somebody else is doing you, instead of grounding yourself in your fucking authenticity and just leaving it like that. Baby, he was trying it. You'd be surprised how many men do this to women. It is nuts. It is nuts how many men do this to women. They go, they watch women, even in the spiritual community. They go, they watch women, never shout them out, and take this and give it in as if there wasn't a woman who supported them in this. They're competing with women. Right? And that's because they are living out the patriarchy. Because if they were really rooted in true masculine, feminine energy, there'd be nothing to compete with. It would just be a support, a love, a camaraderie, and an appreciation of what is taught and what is learned, what is given and what is received. But the women on the women, it doesn't even fucking matter. Okay. The point is you just need to ground yourself in your authenticity and not let the devil play you out of your position with this whole copycat mimicking business. These people are energy vampires. People can see that. But if you start playing into it, it gets hard to tell the difference. Do you understand? So just be you. The Six of Pentacles, giving, receiving. I feel like for some of you guys, you're going to be there. This is a moment in time that sets you on a new 7-year cycle. If it's regarding relationships, you're at the beginning, whether you know this person or you've already been in a relationship with this person or you just met them. This is about, because if you add the Knight to the 6, it's the 7. That's about an investment. This is two people discussing about investing in a connection. But it's so high vibe because there's a conscious awareness. Both of these people love each other and they love themselves enough to honor what it is that they have. And they're both realistic enough to understand what is required to go into a relationship. So there's no rose-colored glasses. Okay. It's an actual tangible, loving conversation expressing the need to want to give and receive from this person, but like from a practical perspective in the sense of investment. So there's earth, this fire energy, and this emotion is grounded in earth energy. These are people that are willing to invest in the emotions, invest in the feelings that they have instead of just experience the feelings. And because there's no investment, once the feelings are gone, so is the connection. So are these people. Feelings change, collective. They're rooted to thoughts, but commitments, those stay. It's the loyalty for me. Because yes, you're experiencing the Judas energy, but the Judas energy very much is going to teach you and put a spotlight on the loyalty. It's going to help you better to be able to, because people who don't know the Judas energy, they take advantage and take for granted the loyalty energy. And then they go out, they find Judas, and then they get rocked by Judas and then run back to their loyal friends, family, and the people who did nothing but try to love them. Judas will teach your energy that. Judas will teach your fucking ass that shit. All the disciples teach us something. It's just what you do with the lessons, collective. It has nothing to do with the disciples, really. It has to do with you. There's Judas. Shocker. Come defend him. Come ride for Judas, man. Judas needs a friend right now because Judas is about to choke on a hunk of bread. And when Judas goes to bed, it's Satan laying in the bed with Judas. Okay, not nobody else. Okay? Judas gets possessed with the whole demon, which was very funny. What that girl sent me, what Angel Gang sent me, it made me really think, right? Like the people, like you, that's what I'm trying to say. You think the people who fucked you over were demonic. You have to understand that was their shadow that did that. You're going to see how demonic they are. I don't know the story. I don't know what happened to Judas after Satan went in him. I just read that with a post. And I just manifest this shit because of what I'm channeling in my brain. I didn't do the research. Okay, I wasn't going to wait 2 weeks to channel this to do the research. I know you guys know the things and will share a bunch of shit and give context and all that. Right? But who knows what happened to that motherfucker after, right? I don't know. Jesus Christ is a ninja. Jesus was a G. Jesus whispered to his friend and goes, yo, the one I give the bread to, that's the Judas. What are you going to do? Nothing. The minute he eats the bread, because like I said to you, it's generosity. The people who I learned that, and it's my shadow that learned that shit. My shadow watched my higher self and peeped the whole fucking karmic scales and was like, yeah, I have to love my haters to get that scale out of balance to make the devil go collect on them. Beautiful. But when you start giving the dark energy back, you actually balance the scale. So there's nothing to fix. There's nothing to collect on. There's nothing to bring into balance. You did it. Your own darkness did it. Right? But if you don't let your darkness put nothing on the scale, bing, it goes like that. That's why Judas got collected on, because Jesus was still generous to him. Jesus still gave him a piece of bread as he's breaking everybody off. And instead of saying, nah, I'm not going to give Judas nothing because this fool is a fucking, he gave it to him and that fool choked on that shit. Jesus didn't have to do nothing. He didn't have to obia him. He didn't have to witchcraft him. All he had to do was be his authentic self, which was generous, loving, supportive, enlightened. Yeah. Hey, Shani. Shani. Did Judas have children? I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't know the story. I'm using Judas like a name referencing an energy that I feel that God put as one of the 12 disciples in order to teach us that we have to even love our enemies. And we will, if we truly understand our own darkness as well as karma. Yes, Judas did have kids. Sis saying they hung himself, that was Satan that convinced him. If he hung himself, we're going to move off from that. I think you guys get the point. There's divine masculine. This is the masculine energy in the collective. I heard I'm ready. I'm ready. Your masculine's energy is ready for something. This is either your masculine, meaning like your partner, or your internal or your internal masculine energy. Let's see what this is about. The Ace of Swords, change, decision. Somebody made a decision. Your masculine energy has made a decision and is ready to make action based on that decision. So here is the Ace of Swords now, is the thoughts catching up with the emotions. So some of you guys didn't take action on your feelings. Some of you guys now, you really just waited for your mind to catch up with your heart. You didn't let your heart live like that. Some of you did, and there's no wrong way of going about it. I don't think it doesn't matter. However we get there, right? But some of you did wait. Some of you did not let your heart lead you, and you waited for your head to catch up, and now it has. But now, with the Two of Wands in reverse, you're questioning if the opportunity still stands. If there's still opportunity. The Two of Wands in this deck, it's the City. This is the card of opportunity. Look at Five of Pentacles. Somebody feels left out in the cold. They feel like they've lost something. Somebody feels like they lost something waiting for their head. Go and lay down, yo. I don't want to hear no barking while I'm on the thingy. If you go outside, just stay quiet, okay? She's acting all calm and I feel like she wants to rip some. Yeah, some of you guys feel like you lost something because you didn't follow your heart. It's like your head caught up to your heart and finally validated your heart. But your heart's like, yeah, I've been told you that though. And you didn't listen. This is all within yourself. I'm tapping it because this is all within somebody. I'm tapping into somebody who's in the Four of Swords right now. And this is somebody who this is what they're reflecting on. And it's not a decision they made in the past. It's the decision that they didn't let their heart make for them. This is what I think this is. Somebody is like, my heart could have made this decision for me. Somebody's learning to trust their heart, essentially. Because their heart caught up with their head caught up with what their heart was trying to tell them the whole time. But now a lot of time and space has passed. And somebody knows that, and they are feeling hurt about that. You are not hurt about what you think you lost. You are not hurt about what you think you could have had. You are hurt because you didn't follow your own heart. That's all. It could have been anybody your heart was leading you to. It could have been anything your heart wanted to do. It doesn't matter. What you're feeling right now, the sense of loss, has nothing to do other than the loss that your heart feels when you don't trust it, when you don't listen to it, when you don't let it lead, when it doesn't have a big enough space in your life. It feels like this is learning to trust your heart. The love drought. I looked down and I saw love drought, the famine. Some of you guys, that's what that famine was. It was love. And what did you sustain off of? Your love of self. If you didn't experience that famine, you would have never dug in your own fucking pantry. If there was always somebody's house to go and get food, you would have never made sure there was food in your fucking yard. There was a drought. You couldn't go to nobody's yard. You had to start cultivating your own food. You had to learn how to love your own self. And you did, and you sustained the famine. Now, the love that you have, that you've unlocked within yourself, that has kept you alive, is now allowing you to thrive, and is now going to be mirrored back to you by someone else. So this abundance that comes in, thank you for the donations. Thank you to everyone who came to Afrofest. Thank you for everyone who supports me, my businesses, my readings, myself as a person. You guys are so supportive. So supportive, and just know that you get it back, not just from some crazy lady on the YouTube tarot, but you're gonna get it back. I just want you to know I can feel you, and the impact that you people have in my life is beyond words sometimes for me. You guys don't know what you've done to me because you didn't know who I was before this. But you changed me. Your love is affecting. Your love does things. It changes people. It makes them better. Just know that. Because if you did that to me just on YouTube, imagine what you do for the people in your life that you actively fucking love on. Don't wait for them to tell you you impact them. Just know it within yourself. But this famine's over. Even financially, this is emotionally, because your emotions are tethered to your thoughts. Here's you financially, the famine is over. Some of you guys sacrificed. You made sacrifices where you couldn't pursue dreams. You couldn't unlock abundance. And whatever it was, you could have been doing anything collective. But you weren't unlocking this abundance. You weren't pursuing certain things that would unlock this abundance for you. Some of you guys put yourself into financial hardship in order to save you and your children, or you said, I don't give a fuck if I have to be living in my car. I'm not living with this motherfucker. I'm not living here. I'm not staying in this situation. I'm not being abused at this job with this partner. I don't give a fuck. You threw yourself into the Five of Pentacles. That was courageous, and that was a fucking sacrifice that you made out of faith, even if you don't consciously understand that. Because if you didn't have faith, you would have stayed. But you didn't. And you're so gangster that this didn't even faze you. You weren't afraid. There's no darkness. There's no poverty. There's nothing that the devil could hang over you that would get you to stay or be a part or continue to be subject to that shit. So you put yourself in the Five of fucking Pentacles. And you've been there struggling. And the devil kept telling you, you would have been going through this financial struggle if you just stayed there or with them or at that job. And your higher self kept saying, fuck you. And here you are, unlocking at abundance at the Queen of Pentacles. You're at a crossroads. And the money comes in. And now you have the home you've always wanted. And you now got your new car. And you now can go on your little vacation. And now you can get a better home so your kids are in a better school district. And you can, buy your land and go back home. You can do what you always wanted to do, but just know that if you didn't sacrifice that and throw yourself in the Five of Pentacles, it would have never occurred. The famine you experience, you willed it. Here the abundance is now. I've been reading for you people for 4 years. We've talked about this shit for so long. It's here. And if it's not here yet, it's coming. Because that's all we've ever talked about, is getting here. But for many of you, we started here in this journey. This is how we found each other. This is how we bucked up. And we put ourselves here. You were single because you loved yourself and refused to settle. You were broke because you refused to sell your soul and be a slave. Or stay in that relationship just for money. You did it. You initiated your own famine. That's remarkable to me. You guys are the most courageous people I know. Who does that? Courageous, brave people. And you're being rewarded for that. For seeing the courage, having faith in something better, and loving yourself. Because that's your love, following your heart, got you to the Five of Pentacles. Imagine you blamed your heart and said, I would have never been broke if I just stayed there. And I just, I should have just put up with that. It would have been better. What? Your heart wouldn't be on your side. Your heart was like, I don't give a fuck. We got to get the fuck up out of here. I will lead you somewhere better. Trust me. That's what your heart said. When it said to leave this person, leave this relationship, let them go, let this go, stop doing this, whatever. So proud. Page of Wands, good news, communication. Some of you guys are going to get good news about work. Really, really good news. Some of you guys are living in your car and you are going to start this job. Okay, that is a fairly high profile job and nobody knows that you are living in your car until you get your first paycheck. The story though, it's the come up for me. It's the come up for me. The Six of Cups. You put yourself out in the cold, man. You left your friends. You left friends that didn't really, have your back. You left lovers that didn't really have the capacity to love you. You left these people behind. You left these connections behind to seek a deeper connection that you initially did within yourself first. And now the universe is going to mirror the connection that you've built within yourself. These people are so, the Ten of Cups, these people. They're your disciples, man. And I feel like, let's just say Judas evolved. What if Judas evolved? What if Judas learned to love the collective instead of isolate himself from the collective? Maybe in the past, Judas was a snake, but maybe in the future, Judas is an eagle. Or like a puppy, or I don't know, just not a snake. Allowing people to evolve past their archetype. You guys let me evolve past being a Cancer. You guys let me be all the signs. Maybe we have to allow Judas to evolve past being Judas the way it was written. I don't know. Maybe Judas is the same piece of shit Judas was thousands of years ago, and maybe Judas has evolved. I don't know. I guess we'll find out, right? Anyway. And then we'll pull one from the astro codes and we'll wrap. Thank you to everyone who's joined. I miss you guys. I'm happy to be back on our Monday vibes. I have to do, after Afrofest, like I have to do these events. We are such a beautiful group of people. And I feel like I'm creating a blockage surrounding us coming together and meeting as one, like in the flesh. And I'm not going to create that blockage anymore. I'm not going to overthink the events. I'm just going to be open to creating spaces of us coming together, because it's not just about meeting me. It's really about meeting each other. You guys don't know yet. I know because I see you guys. Well, wait till you guys get into a room and you see each other. You guys are going to be blown away by the people you've been doing this ascension journey with on the veil. I feel like the internet is a reflection of the 5D. As above, so below, right? So the 5D being the internet, everybody's connected, but not in the physical. You can't see it, but you can feel it, right? I feel like the internet and how we communicate on it is a reflection of the ethers. Messaging, watching each other's pages, i.e. tapping into each other's energy in the ethers, shooting out DMs, those are telepathic messages, like all that shit. So now it's about as above, so below, these connections manifesting in the 3D. So I'm really excited about that. Like, really, we're going to do something as basic as like a tarot at the park. Like, because I was overthinking the event too much. I prayed for clarity and I'm getting it. I don't even need to engage with my Judas. God will handle them accordingly. Yeah. Because some of you guys, you feel like you feel stupid. Like, imagine Jesus wasn't conscious and then gave the bread to Judas and then found out that Judas was the snake after he gave him the bread. And he's like, I just gave him the bread. I'm an idiot. I would have never given him the bread if I knew he was a fucking Judas. Then just that energy alone balances out the scales. Jesus understood the power of love and maintained the generosity even after knowing that he grinds him. And that's what took him. That's what took him. When you are generous and loving to someone fucked you over, it's like you're holding a fucking strap. It's like you shot them. Energetically, if we're talking about warfare, if we're looking at this like a warfare thing, just know that you fight darkness with light and love. And then look what happened to Judas. Jesus didn't let you guys said that Judas hung himself. Jesus didn't even have to put something hot to him. I'm just saying. Jesus didn't even have to put something hot to Judas. Jesus had to let him fulfill his role so he could do his right. Yeah, the Judas played a pivotal role, but that's what I'm trying to say. That's why God made him a disciple in Jesus's life. That's why Jesus agreed to the 12 disciples before even incarnating here, meaning coming into this world, before coming in here, having a conscious awareness that you are going to have a Judas in your life, and God being like, agreeing to that. I believe we agree to this shit. Yeah, because we were ready to fight for you earlier. We ain't fighting. We are living our best lives. There's no fighting. There's no cussing. My shadow likes to engage every now and then. I let her play. It's like letting a dog in the backyard to go run around for a bit and then telling it to get back inside. Like, you know what I mean? Don't let me bring your vibration down. Anyway, can we get one card from the Astro Codes to wrap up this reading, to kind of focus on the energy that the collective is at this time? Feels so celebratory. It feels so intense, impactful. There's so much happening in the third dimensional lives of the collective and the people that I support. And I just thank you, Creator, God, Prime Source, ancestors, and guardian angels for everything, all the abundance that you bestow in our life, but all of the abundance that sustained us during the famine. So be grateful for yourself, collective. Be grateful for yourself because you sustained yourself. Or at least you learned to. Look, God, I get it. God's dream is Judas. God's dream is Judas trying to defend the archetype. And it makes sense. We have to. Chiron's Te Shanti. What does that mean? What does Shanti mean? I feel like it's a greeting. I've been watching you for almost 3 years now, and this is my first time talking in a chat. But anyways, I just want to say I'm extremely grateful that I'm a part of Angel Gang. I love y'all. We love you back, Jay. We love you back. Yeah, it wasn't easy. No, it wasn't. Wait, this chick is still going? Who are you talking about, Valentina? Not today. My shadow's wearing like a black chiffon dress dancing around my living room right now. Don't play with me. Like, my soul is fully here in its glory. 3 years? Oh shit. He's talking about God's dream. Oh, okay. R.I.D. Yes. His relationship with his mom was weird. He's blocked on everything, so it's done. But I understand that it didn't have anything to do with me for real, for real. Exactly. God's dream, babe. Oh, I'm going to. I don't know why I'm so defensive today. I feel like I haven't been like that in a long time. I don't even know if it's defensive or my shadow just wanting to like play a little bit. I don't know. Because before it felt like a protective thing, but I don't feel like I'm in danger. I don't feel like I'm being attacked. You know? So maybe it's just my shadow trying to play. It's Sanskrit. The Judas. Put your sins up, cup. What? Put your sins up, cup. My sins been up. Leo fucking season. Okay. You guys want to talk about it a little bit? We can talk about it a little bit. Whoa. What's opposite Leo? Tell me right now. What's the opposite sign of Leo? I don't know if this is it, but if it is, this is a lot. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm sweating. Look what came out all together. Just so you know that we are in alignment and we are the realest to ever done this shit. I don't give a fuck. My shadow and the ego, I can't. But it's straight up. My shadow's like, we're the best to ever do it. I don't give a fuck. Okay, I let my ego have its moment. But you see that shit, right? That came out together. It's the alignment for me. This 8-8 portal, okay? I might not even be on to do an 8-8 portal. Why? Because I'm living it. We've been trying to understand for years what this fucking portal is. Okay, there's nothing, these portals haven't done anything for us. Okay? Or at least for the collective I read for, because we have been working to understand the portal for years. And this year, this portal is going to show us what it really is. It's going to show us, because we're open and we're receptive and we've gained an understanding of what this portal is, so we can understand how it's going to affect us and what it's going to do to us. And that you became an energetic vibrational match for the portal that we've been talking so much about. They speak about the 8-8 portal being these infinite connections and the portal of union and relationships, especially before the season of the Virgin and then the Lovers. But nobody really understood how to make themselves an energetic vibrational match to the portal. And I would like to believe that we have. We've come into union with ourselves. We've built infinite connections with the divine, our ancestors. We look at death a completely different way, which the 8-8 portal also challenges you to do. Because if it's an infinite connection, then death is an illusion. You understand? We did the work. So now, I don't even know if we're going to be here to be able to watch the 8-8 portal on the fucking internet. We're going to be busy. Oh, we're going to be busy. Okay? I might still come on, but who knows where I'll be or what I'll be doing or what I've just done. All right. So which one should we read? I feel like we should read all three. I know we're already an hour and 13 minutes in, but I haven't seen you guys in so long. Okay. So let me just read these three and then I'll wrap up. I can't believe that. And then Aquarius is 11, which speaks of that alignment and that portal. 5 plus 53 is 58. 58, 5 and an 8 is a 13. That's death energy, death being an illusion. We just said that. That's what that portal, that 8-8 portal taught us. 5 plus 11 is 16, which is the tower. So that could be big revelations coming into you. It could even be the tower could just be the realization that that karmic era is over. And while you're realizing that era is over, you're also realizing there were parts of that era that you really love that you're also having to say goodbye to, not just the bad stuff. So I just feel like these 3 cards sum up not just what we talked about, but also what this 8-8 portal between now and August, going into the next month, really. Okay, but let's start reading. We're going to start with Leo. Shine. And it opened right there. I'm getting chills. I can feel it in the air. I can hear it in your voice. Oh, oh, oh. You guys have to listen to our theme song. I posted it in the community board today. You guys have to listen. That's our theme song. Okay? We fucking made it. The grace. It's the grace for me. Anyways, Leo, shine for the benefit of all. Leo's lion symbol asks you to be brave, be visible, share your heart, and warm all of those around you. Leo is a fixed fire sign ruled by the sun and is connected to the heart, liver, and upper back. The sun shimmers here, July 21st to August 22nd. Action. This is the first fucking card that we got. Action. Take your space, be visible, light up the room, but also honor the light within others. Leo asks you to be the hearth fire of the situation. Hold others people's attention, not just for your own ego, but for their benefit, as an actor or teacher would do. Warm their lives and be the person that people gather around to share stories. Bask in the sun. Cultivate your community with love. Angel Gang Gang, we're doing meetups. Share the bounty of your culture. Renew your spirits by living life to its fullest. 9 of Cups energy. You're not waiting for anybody to come in and give you an excuse to live your life to the fullest, or show you how to do it, or do it for you. You did it for yourself. You're doing it for yourself. This is going to be mirrored back to you by other people who just further this sense of fulfillment for you in the 10 of Cups union energy, which is also signaled by the 8-8 portal. Okay? Be honest rather than modest. Be honest rather than modest. And I say that because Angel Gang's very, very modest. And sometimes you can be so modest, you start making yourself small. So that's why it's Leo season. Leo energy isn't about being cocky. It's about being honest. Remember, the sun is clarity. Light is clarity. It's the truth. Right? So Leo energy encourages you to be brave enough to be honest. Not just about others, but about yourself and all the good things about you. Connect your expression and creative process to real feelings and honest facts. Teach, share, be generous with what you have, what you know, are, and have. You know that those actions attract the love and appreciation you need. Then offer that same level of attention to others. They will love you for it. People deeply appreciate being seen by you. Learn when to shine and when to step back and center another person, idea, or community. Right? So it's really funny. Nobody really talks that's the real definition of Leo. Not some self-centered, narcissistic, because people have all these really low vibrational preconceived notions about the zodiac signs. But if they if they realized and identified to them being all the zodiac signs, they wouldn't have these low vibrational preconceived notions. Or if they did, they would have to ascend and evolve them because they are reflections of themselves. Right? They're unevolved. Because I tried to tell you guys you're all the signs. I tried, and you guys are still on like Leos do this and Cancers do this, and I guess you guys think it's fun and stuff, but it's just so like grade 1. Like anyway, let me not be mean. Then offer, okay, challenge. If you're acting from a place of soul hunger, you can mistakenly think that any attention from others will fill that gaping hole. Not all attention is good attention, right? Stubbornness, the fear of being wrong, or the desire to be seen as the leader may blind you to what is urgently needed. Melodrama can disconnect you from the real feelings involved. Gift, love. Leo rules the heart. So remember what I told you, Cancer season. It's preparing us for Leo. I love it. So bring your energy and attention to your heart and let that chakra become a beacon. Honor the heart within each person you meet and watch the dynamics shift. So that's Leo. Then we're going to read opposition. Confrontation. You guys, I don't know if it was I don't think Jesus beat Judas's ass. I'm just saying. I don't think that. And that's actually crazy because when I was in Jamaica, I'm going to post it. There was a video. We were driving and there was a video. It was such Capricorn energy. There was 2 goats that were doing this. They were ramming each other. They were fighting. I've never seen goats do that in real life. And they just start smashing their heads against each other and shit. It's pretty wild. And I just got a vision of that when I saw this. Opposition, confrontation. Some of you are very confrontation avoidant. And when you would engage conflict, it was from a very toxic, low vibrational, violent manner, where you're being asked to engage in conflict from a higher vibrational perspective. So still not to avoid it. Some of you guys have to come out of avoiding conflict. You're just running from things. You're not working through the karmic energies that conflict is trying to show you exists. Opposition number 53. That's an 8. That also is the Leo energy, the month of Leo. Challenging aspects. Opposition, confrontation, when 2 planets oppose each other across the circle of the zodiac as the sun and moon do on a full moon, both planets will either be in signs of yang elements, fire and air, or yin elements, water and earth, and stare directly at each other across the earth like partners in a wrestling match. The opposition can feel like a dare or a challenge, like boot camp, when a confrontation pushes everyone to grow. Action. This is not a comfortable situation, but that's not the point. You're being challenged to grow. Look at the situation as a dojo, a martial arts training center, and take the training. You don't have to trust the wisdom of the people you are wrestling with, but you can trust the pattern itself in the giant cosmic workout. Practice your best skills, stay centered, and operate from wisdom and strategy instead of emotional heat. Listen for hints on how to improve your style. The obstacles in your way are not there to stop you, but to push you towards your personal best. This situation may be set up as a dichotomy. You or them, love or work, your ideas versus their ideas. Question the dichotomy. Question the dichotomy's illusion and look for a third position of resolution. A both and solution versus either or. If the way forward feels truly blocked, look for another path. Sometimes an opposition, particularly in transit, says that you shall not pass this way. Find another route. An opposition dares you to proceed. Decide if the path is worth the struggle. If it is, grow those skills. Hold your ground and fight for what you believe in. You are being asked to prove to yourself and others that you have the skills needed for the next step. We have the skills needed for the next step. We've been doing the work. Just saying. Okay, challenge. The situation is an inconvenient growth opportunity, but not a punishment. Decide if it's time to build muscles or to find another path. Both are not wrong. One is necessary. You either have to find another path or you have to build muscles. You decide. You've probably done both in your life and are having to determine in this present instant which one is necessary. You've pushed against the rock until God moved it and cleared the way. You've found other paths because you've left the beaten. You've left the main path. You've left the path most traveled. Gift. The situation offers you a chance to burn through karma if you can continuously respond with compassion and tough love from your highest self. Take the fucking high road. This situation offers you a chance to burn through karma. That's what we do. Just in case you're not clear. That's what we work through. This is what we're about. This is why these readings are not always love and light, and how we can work through very tough energies for very long periods of time. How do you think I felt being a reader while everybody's talking about all the unions and all the abundance and all the shit I had to tell you about all the bullshit, or other readers too. You know what I'm saying? You don't think we would love to talk about all the abundance? Sometimes we have to talk about the shit because we have to work through it to get to the good. So guys, you have an opportunity to burn through some serious karma. Okay? And you would do it by taking the high road, but it's the road of ascension. I think you guys already found another path. I think you guys already did that. I personally think that you're going to work through something. I feel like you're conscious enough to understand that you could either, that there's something being presented, it's a relationship or an opportunity. And you'll know because your heart is going to lead you to it. Your heart's going to want to do it so badly, even if your head is like, no. Because your heart is like, I want to burn through karma. Because remember what karma is teaching us to do. It's to make our heart as light as a feather so we can pass through the portal. Your heart wants to get you through the fucking portal. 8-8. I personally think between now and this 8-8 portal, you're going to have some very harsh conflict energies come in, and you're going to be asked what you do with it. Just like Jesus. Jesus got hit with conflict when he realized Judas was a fucking snake, and he was put in a position to determine what he was going to do. And he responded with fucking love and tough love, knowing that when Jesus knew that when he gave Judas that fucking bread and he told him, whatever you're going to do it fast, that it was because Satan was coming for his ass and was going to come with a quickness. So how are you going to respond when you find out about your Judas, or when you go through conflict, or when you're responding to this energy? How are you going to respond? Because that's what your heart is weighed on. Not what people did to you, how you responded, and what you did in return. That's what you're judged on, not what people did to you. They're judged on what they did to you, not you. All right? Anyways, guys. Oh, wait. Aquarius. I heard the aquas go, whoa. So then we'll read the last card, 111. I looked at the amount of people in the chat, and there was 111. That's the number of manifestations. It's also the 11th of the month. And here is the 11 on Aquarius. It's the syncing up for me. Okay. All right. Okay. Collaborate. So you go from conflict to collaborate. Okay. The symbol of Aquarius is not water, but the water bearer, the person fetcher, carrying and pouring the water, who provides a great service to the community. Aquarius is ruled by Saturn in traditional astrology, co-ruled by Uranus in modern astrology, and is connected to the ankles, which we use to turn from one person to another in conversation. The sun shines through Aquarius January 21st to February 20th. Action, live by your philosophy. Aquarius's traditional ruler, Saturn, asks us to know what society expects of us and to care about our reputation. However, Aquarius's co-ruler, Uranus, encourages us to free ourselves from tradition or other person's opinions and be able to think outside the box. Yes, this can feel like a paradox, but it offers a healthy tension to manifest the true you. Know the pattern and riff on it with your own invention. To get to this free place, investigate your philosophy, which is your operating manual, to make sure it's alive and authentic. Not the manual of someone else. So you see somebody else living by a manual and you see it working for them, so you want to leech onto their manual. It's not going to work for you. It's like reading the instructions on a manual to put together a fucking table while trying to work on a chair. You're not going to get the finish. You're not going to get the support you need. Right? Okay. When you feel your worldview and your actions are integrated, it's easier to call in healthy collaborators. Okay. This is very important, collective. Okay. Forget Judas. All the other disciples are your woes. So don't let Judas energy get you paranoid and stop you from seeing all the loyalty, all the love, all the people who have your true best interest. Why? Because they love themselves enough to be able to love somebody like that. Okay, don't let Judas spoil the bunch. That's why they say one bad apple can spoil the bunch. Imagine Jesus was like, "Nah, I don't trust none of you motherfuckers." You know what I'm saying? You're all Judases. Well, Jesus wouldn't be able to fulfill his mission because it was a community effort. It took a village to keep Jesus alive. They were trying to kill him his whole life. They killed off his parents and they tried to kill him off his whole life. And then they tried to kill off his pickney and his wife too. Okay, so it took a whole village to keep Jesus alive. That's why the mourning when they hung him up like that. Anyway, cultivate allies, find others called by the same causes and work together. Weave people together to create community. This web will bring in new friendships, purpose, and connections, which may lead to romantic sparks. I love how it talked about friendship, purpose, and connections leading to romance. Some of you guys don't have the friendship, the purpose, and the true connection as a foundation to these romantic sparks. So then what is the foundation of the romantic spark? What is it? It could be lust. It could be superficiality. It could be money. It could be a bunch of things. Look at what the foundation is of the romantic connections that you're manifesting and that you're involved in now, to see if it's rooted in something tangible, something that you truly want to hold on to and it isn't going to have to karmically let go of like the rest. Okay? Throughout the process, continuously maintain a balance between your own needs and those of the collective. Because some of you guys in this Nine of Cups energy, you worked really hard to bring this Nine of Cups energy, but you had to become a certain level of selfish. Thank you to everybody who's donated. I see 444. Thank you to everybody. I appreciate you guys. You guys are very generous. You guys, you have to come out of this selfish energy because you're going to struggle from going to the 9 to the 10. There's a focus on this collaboration. We've been talking about it from the last 8-8 portal, right? Challenge. Spiritual practice and personal philosophy can be used to bypass authentic emotions. Spiritual practice and personal philosophy can be used to bypass authentic emotions. So be honest with yourself. Remember, Leo asked for the courage to be brave enough to speak the truth, right? To be honest with yourself and don't try to talk yourself into feelings you think. Sorry, let me read that again. Philosophy can be used to bypass authentic emotions. So be honest with yourself and don't try to talk yourself into feelings you think you should have or onto a path that others find more sociably acceptable. Some of you guys are in relationships because you just don't want to be single and you don't like the persona. You don't like the outward persona that you have being single. You want the persona. You want this what am Kali? This socially acceptable image and narrative and persona, and you're doing things. You're putting yourself in alignment with things based on this persona, which takes you out of alignment with what you truly fucking want. Okay? If your philosophy clashes with your if your philosophy clashes with your honest feelings, then your philosophy needs to evolve. If your lifestyle is not in line with your philosophy, then one or both need to change. This is a paradigm. We spoke about how, remember, your beliefs are not in alignment with your feelings. So you might believe you want certain things, but don't believe you deserve them. So that's a disalignment. This is speaking of a similar disalignment, which will get you to struggle to manifest. Anyways, gift. The authentic Aquarius gift encourages you to let go of previous constructs and listens to the source within. Honor the reality that you are a unique individual, but you also have a responsibility to contribute to the health of your community. It takes a village. It really does. Okay? Anyways, guys, so nice to be able to catch up with you guys. All right, on our Monday vibes. We're back and we're in it. And I feel like I went through a portal. So I'm excited to see the energies that we tap into and how they're different, you know, because it already feels different. You know, by April, I just didn't even want to read. I was so tired of reading the end of that era. And then I experienced the end of the era, and now I'm in a different space completely. So I just thank you guys for your patience, for all your prayers so that I have safe travels and journeys. All you guys who are on the Patreon, shout out to Patreon gang. So if you guys want daily, weekly content, and all that means is that I post more regularly over there than I do over here. And you guys can go over there, Patreon.com/Queen Cup. For frankincense, thank you. Shout out to everyone who came to Afrofest to check out the Smudge a Lot booth. That was so amazing. I am still very exhausted from it, but I absolutely love that. So thank you guys. But you can get your frankincense and myrrh and all your smudging kits over at www.queencup.ca. You guys can go to www.smudgealot.com. It's just going to redirect you to the store on queencup.ca because we haven't launched it yet. All right, guys. And until the next time I see you, beautiful people, continue to let your inner angels live. All right. Love you guys. Ciao.